We are Tottenham TV here with former Tottenham assistant manager and legend Chris Hughton. Really great to have you on the channel, really great honour. The season starts only a few days' time. Spurs have made one signing. There's rumours actually in the past half an hour that maybe Tottenham could be breaking their record again for Paulo Dybala, maybe getting Philippe Coutinho on loan. Where do you think they need to kind of bridge the gap to Man City and Liverpool?
Well, I think it's that's the hard question, because at this moment, City and Liverpool were that much better than everybody else. Of course, you know, Tottenham having reached the Champions League final, I think puts them a level that I think probably you know, Spurs supporters wouldn't have expected a good few years ago. But it's certainly great to see them up at that level. To get close to Man City and Liverpool, it's going to be more about one or two individuals. It's going to be about having that level of consistency that them two teams have shown. And when you see a team like Liverpool that's lost one game last season in the league and still didn't win it, so I think it's going to be hard to get close to that one. But I think all you can hope as a Tottenham supporter is that the team continues to develop, and I think it's going to be as important for what they bring in is to make sure that, you know, they don't lose too many players in this last couple of days. So I think certainly they've been on the right path for quite some time now. They've got a lot of consistency in the team, players that have played at a really high level for the last few seasons. I think the additions will add that little spark, because of course, you know, over the last few windows there haven't been so many players coming in, and I think that shows a consistency in the team. But I think they are close. It just so happens, I think, that in Manchester City and Liverpool you've got two teams at the moment that are at a different level to everybody else.
And obviously, we talk about your time in the club. Actually, at a time when you were assistant manager under Martin Jol, a time where a lot of Spurs fans credit with kind of Tottenham's coming back into the big time. You know, a couple of fifth place finishes, starting challenging for top four. Now we're here, getting top four regularly and getting to Champions League finals. How different a club do you think it is now to when it was when you were there as an assistant manager or as a player?
Now it's a huge difference. I mean, in my period of time there, and I was there, of course, as a player for some. Probably 13 years as a player, and on the coaching staff for 14 years, and for many of them years, you know, Tottenham would have been seen as a team that can finish anywhere from, you know, 3rd, 4th place to 10th place. And whenever anybody asks me about Martin Jol, my answer is always that I felt that Martin was the coach that turned Tottenham into a consistent, you know, top 4-5 team. And that has been the case, I think, ever since that. What the team are able to do is to push even further than that, and of course, you know, Champions League and top 4. And I think now, at this moment, I think everybody sees Tottenham as a top 4 side. And that would have been completely different in my time. But the pressure is to sustain it, and the only way you can sustain it is by doing the things that the club have been doing. You know, the recruitment they've got, the new stadium, the training facility, and certainly if you're looking at it as an intent by the owners, the chairman and the club to be in that elite group of teams, the club are certainly showing it now.
And obviously you were manager last season in the Premier League of Brighton, you've been recently of Norwich as well, and you've been having to come up against Tottenham Hotspur under Pochettino and having to set up and try and stop them. How difficult a task is it? How do you go about trying to set up a team to stop this Tottenham side?
And it's very difficult, and whenever anybody is asking a manager that's managing, you know, one of the teams that are going to be a bottom half team, you know, there is that huge difference, particularly away from home, and of course, you know, going away to Tottenham, going away to your Liverpools, your Uniteds, are even harder. You know, all you can do as much as possible is to make sure that you stay in the game. I mean, we lost at the new stadium last season 1-0, last few minutes, and up until then, although Tottenham had the bulk of possession, didn't create the big chances, but had so much play into that final third, and that's sometimes what it's about away from home, making sure that you stay in the game. Can you frustrate? Look to get the moments when you can, but on most occasions, you know, the quality wears you down, and of course on that occasion,
who could be leaving. Is that how much of a loss would that be if Tottenham obviously can't nail him down to a contract and he does end up leaving? How big of a player do you think, having managed against this Tottenham side, how big of a player is he in the creative hub of the team?
No, he's a huge player, and it would be a huge loss. But the big clubs are used to that.
Yeah.
They do that. They lose a big player. They bring another big player in. They lose a big player. Somebody steps up. So for as big a loss as what it will be, Tottenham will be prepared for it. And if that happens, somebody else will come in. Somebody else will step up. So it's not something that's unusual. But there's no doubt the contribution that he's made over these years has been massive.
And obviously, one last question before I let you go. You were right back at Tottenham. That's clearly
mostly left back. Mostly left back.
Well, we're in a few games at right back. Obviously, we let go of Trippier this summer. You don't have one more years left in those legs, do you? Can convince you to play right back for one more year?
No, I haven't. No more years left in these legs. They went a long time ago. But again, when the club decide or choose to let a player go, it's because they feel it's the right decision, and they feel that somebody else can step up, or there is that natural replacement there. So the clubs are used to this one, and I think what Kieran Trippier did for the club, I think he gave him great service in the period of time that he was at the club. But it's a time to move on, and it's an exciting prospect for him. But no doubt the club will cover that position, and say this is something that they're very much used to.
Chris, absolute pleasure having you on. Really, really good honour. Spurs legend Chris Hughton, thank you very much. Come on, you Spurs.